flame. Poptastic Nation, we are so happy that you're here joining us today. As you know, today is Poptastic as always, and today, welcome to the Be Poptastic podcast. And as you know, we are enjoying some beautiful cigars here. I'm smoking and puffing on Rocky Patel Velvet Edition. And Mike, what are you puffing on over there today?
I'm puffing on a Rocky Patel A10.
A10, baby, A10.
A10.
So we are extremely excited that all of you are joining us today. We want to talk about our lives right now and things that we're implementing in our lives. Of course, as you know, we have our scotch. We can't exclude that we have our scotch. So, Mike.
We have our scotch. Bam!
Bam! Here we are. So, Mike, let's get started today, man. You've been on a roll, man. I'm super excited to be here with you today. I mean, I know you've been really hitting hard, going hard this week. You've been implementing a lot of very cool things in your life to see transformation, right?
Yeah.
So here we are. So, Mike, let's break it down. So I know you came to me, you've been telling me lately that you've been taking a 2-day work week. Well, a 2-day work day, right?
Yeah.
You've been combining 2 days worth of work in 1 day.
In 1 day.
So wait, let me break this down again. So you're telling me that you've breaking down 2 days worth of work in 1 day.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Poptastic Nation, I hope you're ready for this. We have Mike here. Mike's been putting in a lot of work here. I've been extremely excited to hear this. I want to know just like you all possibly want to know.
Yeah.
Let's hear about it.
All right, so there's a few things that you have to set up.
Okay.
Right? So
is it maxing out your time? I mean, is it?
So it's maxing out my time, but it's also maxing out my health.
Woo, okay, okay.
So it's maxing out my time, but it's also maxing out my health.
Woo, okay, okay.
So alarm goes off 5 o'clock. I get up, take a shake, get ready, hit the gym by 6 o'clock. I'm in the gym. I'm back home, getting ready to have a recovery shake, and I'm at the office sometime in the 8 o'clock hour, and I am, So what happens when you work out? Get this dopamine, you get all this stuff, you get more oxygen to your brain, and you are ready to get in and focus. So I get into the office, I sit at a computer all day,
okay,
and I get in and I sit down and I look and see if anything blew up.
Okay.
I manage 70 Facebook pages, a whole bunch of Instagram accounts, have a whole bunch of marketing projects and clients, all that stuff. Anyway, I check to make sure that the world and all the brands and everything is all cool. Then I'm like, all right, what do I do first? Turn off all the stuff.
What are you turning off?
I shut down Facebook. I close all of that stuff and I turn on some music.
Okay.
Here's a method that I use.
Method. All right, let's hear it.
It's called the Pomodoro method.
Pomodoro method. Did I say
it's not a cigar?
Right, because I wanted what?
It's not the Pomodoro. It's
go ahead, say it again.
Pomodoro.
Pomodoro.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, we got it. It's a palm. I was thinking about Pomodoro. Go ahead.
Pomodoro method is where you work 25 minutes on and you take 5 or 10 minutes off.
Okay.
25 minutes on, 5 or 10 minutes off. So when you look at a task, you're like, how many Pomodoros does this task take?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I modify mine a little bit different because I'm really good at about 50 minutes to an hour.
Okay.
So literally, I literally get on YouTube. I have YouTube Premium, so I don't get any ads.
Okay.
Because the ads will distract me.
Okay.
And I play a mix. The mix is normally 1 hour long. Boom. I'm oblivious to whatever else is going on in the office. We have like an open co-working office. I'm working. There could be a fire going on, and I'm not listening. I got my headphones on. I'm listening to music, and I'm doing work.
So are you getting up earlier?
I'm getting up earlier.
You're getting up earlier. You're starting your day. Mind you, you're basically spending that first part of your day.
So when I'm talking about 2 days worth of stuff.
Okay.
So if you look at, like, let's say 6 hours.
Okay.
Right? Part of that first day is the gym. So then around 1 p.m.
Okay.
So here, check this out. I have Alexa.
Mm-hmm.
Alexa, I have Alexa set up every hour on the hour. It's like, it's 9 a.m. It's 10 a.m.
So you have reminders going out. So this seems to work for you. Basically, Alexa is your accountability partner and letting you know, hey, you need to do this, or this is you're running out of time, or this is need to be done.
At 10 a.m., it goes, it's 10 a.m. What have you done already?
Okay, so it's okay, nice, right? So
these are things that I've programmed myself.
Right. So all right. So here we are. So Mike, for those of you that's joining in, Mike has figured out a way to have a 2-day work week in 1 day. 2-day work week in 1 day. So at this point, he's maxing out his time, right? Which is very critical, right? His first part of the day.
2 days of work.
2 days of work.
In 1 day.
In 1 day. So the first part of the day, 6 a.m., you're hitting the gym and you're staying focused. You're blocking everything out. All of the distractions, all of the noises, you're blocking that out of your space.
Yep.
I think that's very important. I think that's solid. Because I know a lot of people probably get up and they start their day off with distractions, right? Yeah. And they're burning time. They're not maxing out their time.
Yeah.
Okay. So now when you're at work, that first 6 hours, right? So that first 6 hours you're executing, you're doing a whole days of work in that first 6 hours.
Yeah.
So the second batch of 6 hours, what does that day look like? What does the remaining of that day look like?
I mean, to be honest, it's kind of the same thing. So being like the chief marketing officer of like this conglomerate, like all of our different businesses need marketing.
Okay.
Like everything. Like, oh, we need to do Instagram posts. We need to do this. So everyone wants to talk to me.
Okay.
Not to mention, just to be cordial in the office.
Okay.
Instead of, you still have to kind of play nice with your coworkers, right? Since it's a big co-working types, it's an open office environment. So when I'm sitting there working, Alexa tells me it's whatever time it is, and I'm still working, and then all of a sudden the music ends.
Okay, so that's true.
The music ends, and I'm like, oh. So now I can hear.
So let me ask you this question: How does it work? How has it affected you? I mean, because it's been a week, right?
Yeah.
I mean, because it had to be a big shift, big change for you, especially even for everybody else that's in that co-working space. Was it an awkward situation? I mean, did you have to explain yourself to your staff and let them know?
We kind of implemented a policy.
Okay, so you implemented a policy.
Yeah.
What type of policy? Do not disturb?
Well, it's like it's kind of like don't bother somebody
if they're working.
So here it is.
Okay.
Like somebody would send me an email, and then they would walk over and tell me, "Hey, I sent you an email about this thing."
And it's the same person that sent you the email.
Same person that sent me the email. So
okay.
I'm like,
and they're in the same space as you.
Same space.
That seemed like a total waste of time right there.
Well, so here's the problem. When you're in like a flow state, when you are like super focused and somebody interrupts you, let's say it's only 30 seconds.
Right.
It takes you 15 to 20 minutes to get back into flow.
Yeah.
So every time that happened, it cost me 20 minutes.
20 minutes?
Cost me 20 minutes plus the interruption time.
Wow.
So it could be 20 minutes plus 30 seconds. It could be 20 minutes plus 10 minutes. Whatever, I don't know. But it's 20 minutes. It cost me of straight production time.
Okay.
Straight flow.
So would you say that for everybody that's watching, everybody that's joining in, for those of you that find that it's very intriguing, very interesting, right, to figure out how to do 2 days worth of work in 1 day, right? So if we had to sum this up for the audience, right? I mean, it's hard discipline. It most definitely takes discipline, right? It's most definitely a mindset at this point. But you've been able to max out your time, right? And you're okay with having to shut people off, knowing that's what it takes. Question is, comments below, please put comments. wherever you work, whatever you're doing, could your day be more productive, right? If you were able to solely focus, to eliminate all distractions, right? Because ultimately it's distractions that kind of take you out. Because Mike was just even saying about the flow. And that makes sense because if a phone rings for myself, right?
Yep.
It takes me out of what I was doing and
Yep.
then you got to kind of get back in. That's one of my biggest hiccups because all of the phone calls basically comes to me, right? So I'm always picking up the phone, right?
Yeah.
No matter what it is, I'm always just picking up the phone just to kind of say, hey, is everything okay? Whether it's the other locations or whatever. And mind you, I could be focused on one thing and I can be in my groove, right?
Yeah.
And then it just takes, mind you, just think about this. We're always talking about, you know, being poptastic. If you're in a positive state of mind and you get negative news, right?
Mm-hmm.
Something negative, right? You're in the right state of mind, boom. Especially for me, I pick up the phone, bam, here it is. I get something negative, right?
It takes a beat.
It takes a beat because now it's like, whoa, man, I was perfect. I picked up that phone, right? So you're shutting everything down, you're blocking everybody out, and that seems to be working and be more effective in your workplace. This is where you're able to get more work done.
You have to kind of set it up, right? You have to set it up. Like I let everybody know, like I have to work this way.
So,
this is the way I work.
Okay, so mind you, so you implemented this, and I know you said the policy, right?
Yeah.
How now, mind you,
It's new to everybody.
it's new to everybody. How
So-
did they respect that? Have you seen change amongst your peers
Yeah.
since then?
Yeah.
So it works.
It works. You know, I'm able to be more productive. When my music ends in about an hour, now I can hear people and I'm like, oh, hey, what's going on? What's that? You know what I mean? And if anybody needs to talk to me, they can talk to me then. Otherwise, I'm going to.
I like that.
I'm going to play another mix.
I like that. So question of the day. Everybody that's joining in, everybody that's watching, I want you to be honest. Please put yes, no, does it apply? Can you truly say that when you go to work, whatever line of work that you're in, do you really focus and dedicate? Could you really get more done in a 6-hour day, right? We'll say just 6 hours, right?
Yeah.
In 6 hours, if you really put your all, no distractions, no cell phones, no outside of work tasks, no interruptions, could you get more done in your day? Mike is sitting here right now. He did this, as we said before, that we're going to start implementing things in our lives. We're going to kind of be guinea pigs to show you that, hey, it works. Mike is sitting right here and say, hey, man, this work. I'm able to get 2 days worth of work done in one day. I mean, that's mind-blowing. You know what I mean?
Well, check this out. I've been listening to this guy talking about, he's with the Flow Genome Project.
Okay.
So I got to introduce you to all of this guy's stuff. But what he is saying, and what has scientifically been proven, is that when you are in a flow state, you can do 500 to 1,000% more productivity, which means you can do 5 to 10 times more if you are in a flow state.
I agree with that. I totally agree with that.
It's hard. You have to. I have a bunch of tools. I have a bunch of things set up on my computer and everything. We can, if you want to know what those are, just comment down below and we'll respond to you. We'll put something in the show notes. But really, you have to set yourself up to do this.
And it's, mind you, it's mindset.
Like when I'm on Facebook,
Uh-huh.
I don't see the timeline.
Okay.
I only see what I need to see because I have plugins and stuff like that, and Chrome and all that. So
I like that. I like that. So Poptastic Nation, we're here. As you can see, Mike here has took total control over his time. He's been able to max out that time. He's been taking productivity to a higher level, and he's been able to see phenomenal results, right? Phenomenal results. This week, I'm down. I'm in. I'm excited. I want to implement everything that you're doing, right? So I'm the next guinea pig up. I want to implement everything that you've been doing, right?
start by exercising, man. Exercising first thing in the morning.
mind you, and exercising can be anything, right? So I'll do my push-ups, I'll do my stretches, whatever it is.
Get your heart rate up.
Yep, I agree to that. Totally agree. I'm gonna implement that. And I know for me, the biggest thing that I struggle with right now today is finding balance. There's so much that's always coming. There's so many different things that I need to kind of do, and it's like I'm doing them. I'm managing, right? It's like I'm juggling, right? But I want control. At this point in time, I desire to have 110% control over my time. And that's...
I don't even have that.
But mind you, I want to get to that point is where I have control over my time, and I'm able to dictate the things that I need to do, want to do, and in a timely manner. That's something that I'm desiring. And I know if I'm able to max out, execute, right? Whether it's get up earlier, whether it's send emails earlier, whether it's make calls earlier, if I can do that, I know that I'll be in a better state of mind. I know for me running 3 businesses, I know that I need to start delegating some of the other tasks to other people, right? I need to focus on the bigger picture. I need to focus on what I'm great at. Focus on things. Minor and small things shouldn't be in my pathway. So I can kind of say whether, hey man, there's a lot of distractions or a lot of things that I'm spending time on that I shouldn't really have to do or shouldn't. It's just like today. Prime example, everybody here when we're talking about delegating time and...
Before we get into all of this extra stuff, why don't we end this here? Facebook and LinkedIn right now. We're going to end this here. Follow us over for the rest of the video on our YouTube channel. We'll have links down below so you can check out. Check out. Well, you'll have the link to
right below
the Be Poptastic podcast on YouTube, because I think we should get into some deep stuff here.
Okay, there it is. So I hope you all enjoyed. If you really enjoyed this, please put it in the comments below. Mike just shared right now how you can take a 2-day work week, 2 days of work. I want to say a 2-day work week. Man, that'd be phenomenal. I mean, what is it? Tim Ferriss.
Tim Ferriss
got the
4-hour
work week, right? But he figured out how to take 2 days worth of work and get it done in 1 day. Which means he's maxing out his time. So I mean, he kind of shares some of the things that he implemented. If you're at work and you have to go to work tomorrow, whatever day you're going to work, right? You're starting that next Monday off. Implement some of this stuff. Get up earlier. Block out people, right? Focus. No distractions, right? And try to cram as much work as you possibly can within that 6 hours with no distractions. Right? And if you can do that first 6 hours that way, so if you're getting up at 6, by noon, that should be a whole day worth of work right there. And then you're saying from noon to 6 is the
I go to like 1, and then from 1 to like 6 or 7.
6 or 7. Bam, that's 2 days worth of work. If you can do that, right? And mind you, I'm here connected with Mike, so I'm able to see the results. I'm able to see him accomplish more, get more done, right? And mind you, me being connected, I'm able to see it. It makes me want to level up. So here I am. It's time for me to level up. So Poptastic Nation, I hope everybody enjoyed this Poptastic podcast. We come to you every Friday night, 7:30, with cigars and a glass of scotch. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure you click like, share, subscribe, and
leave a comment.
And as we'll leave you on this note, be Poptastic.
Boom. Now let's get some advanced stuff going.
Alright, Poptastic Nation, we are back. Mike, let's get deep. Let me know your tactics. I need to know your tactics. There's no way that you can just sit here and tell me that you got 2 days worth of work done in 1 day. Break it down for me. I'm here. I got a cigar, you got your scotch, you're feeling loose, you're feeling good. I need to know. The world needs to know. The Poptastic Nation wants to know. So Mike, let's break this down. Let's get deep. Let's get real.
Let's talk tactics, tools, strategy, and all that
stuff.
Let's
go. Let's do it.
All right, so number one, I track my sleep.
Woo! So wait a minute, what do you mean you track your sleep?
I track my sleep. I use an app called Sleep Cycle, because hey, I'm telling you, this helps me be more productive.
By tracking your sleep?
By tracking your sleep.
Come on.
So everybody has a sleep cycle. Sleep cycles are around 90 minutes.
Okay.
So you need to know how many sleep cycles you're having during the night.
How many do you need to have?
Well, here's the biggest thing is you need to have, like, normally people need to sleep between 7 and 8 hours.
Okay. So
you have a certain number of sleep cycles within that time. So, because what you want to do is you want to make sure that you hit the deep sleep.
How long do you need to be in that deep sleep?
Really, to be honest, not that long.
Okay.
What I've noticed is I hit deep sleep maybe 2 or 3 times a night.
Okay.
And so, like, literally you have sleep cycles, right? So you fall asleep and then it kind of goes down to deep sleep and then it comes back up. For some reason, I wake up and like maybe I need to like go to the bathroom or something like that. Then I go back to sleep and then it kind of goes down to almost deep sleep and then it comes up and then it goes down to deep sleep. Then it comes back up and then down to deep sleep.
So number one is tracking your sleep.
I truly believe that tracking your sleep. So the app that I use, Sleep Cycle, it will not wake you up if you're in a deep sleep. It's an alarm. It's my alarm. So
even if you need to get up at a certain time, it will not wake you up if you need to get up at a certain time?
Correct.
But then that means you'll be late.
Well, so here's the thing.
Now this is tricky, folks. I'm listening. I know you have questions just like I have questions.
So we're talking about productivity here,
right? Okay.
If you are woken up in a deep sleep, your productivity will suffer like
based off of our sleep.
Yes, for like hours. Your productivity will suffer for hours.
All right. Poptastic Nation, Mike just gave us number one. You need to download Get Sleep Cycles on your phone immediately because
it's a free app.
Free app. So that's solid because, mind you, I know a lot of times I've never tracked, but I know when I was in a deep sleep and I was disturbed, I did not feel that way. So I'm a believer already. Yep, I'm groggy. I'm groggy and I'm still poptastic. But I wake up and it takes a lot to get me back to my point.
So then what people do is they're like, oh, I need coffee, I need this. So then you're adding stimulants instead of allowing your body to naturally release the serotonin levels. You know, we're chemicals, right? Our brain is all these chemicals, and it's about this chemical cycle, this chemical balance.
See, that's why I love Mike. Right, Poptastic Nation, right here.
Woo! You like kicked that ash off.
Man, I kicked the ash, right? Here it is, right? We're saying, hey, we're one, we're a community, we're here, we're guinea pigs, right? We're trying to learn new things, right? And Mike just found something that's solid. Sleep cycles, right? He's breaking down, he's learning about sleep study, right? Here it is, Mike, you're in the field of marketing, right? And here it is, he's learning different ways, different tactics to be more productive. See, what happens is everybody just want to wake up and be productive. They want to be positive, right? And they just think that you can watch these YouTube videos, right? You can watch our podcast and you think this is going to happen. But I'm telling everybody that's watching right now, you have to be prepared to put in that work, right? To be able to get some of these results. So we're here. Mike's teaching us. He's teaching me, rather. He's teaching you. Mind you, don't sit here and just bypass this sleep. Like, as you heard me say right now, I'm downloading Sleep Cycles tonight because it's valid, right? I've never known that until you just said it, but Mike did the homework. He put in that work. He studied it. It's
45 days.
45 days he's been using Sleep Cycles. So what's number two, Mike?
Number two, you know what? You need to, I like to wake up early and I like to get to the gym early. So
working out is important. Exercise is important. Yeah. Getting that blood flowing is important.
So what it does is, again, it's chemicals, right?
Okay.
I wake up, I hydrate sometimes.
But number two.
But the big thing is, I wake up, I drink water, I get ready to go to the gym. I have a shake before because I either do boot camp or it's a high intensity interval training. So it's a hit gym, right? It's like I'm not messing around when I go there. I'm going to be feeling it for the rest of the day and the next 2 days.
Okay. So number two, folks, right? We're going deep. We're diving deep. We're giving you some of these tips to start implementing. For those of us just joining, number one was sleep cycle. Start studying your sleep cycle. Start learning about your sleep patterns, right? Number two, right? You want to get up early in the morning so you can be productive, right? You want to go to the gym. You want to get that blood flowing. You want to get those chemicals in your body moving, right? You don't want to be stagnant. You want to sit there and be draining, right?
Spike your dopamine levels and
bam.
You don't need the coffee.
You don't need the coffee. So for those of you that think that you need coffee and you really think that coffee works for you, right now what we're telling you is you don't need that. It's all a gimmick. It's all a joke. If you really want to be productive, you want to get up early, you want to start hydrating your body, you want to hit that gym, get the blood, get all of the chemicals in your body starting to flow and pump. Mike, what's number 3? I want to know. What's number 3?
So number 3 is, I get to the office. My office is a open co-working space. It's a co-working environment. It's an open office.
Okay.
Right? So, I come in, I say hi to everybody. The big thing is you gotta eat something good for breakfast. So the shake I have before I work out is just so I have something in my body. I have a recovery shake after that. I get to the office. I check everything to make sure nothing blew up. Right?
Okay.
So, I manage 70 Facebook pages, all this stuff. I look at everything. Everything's cool. Now I start shutting things down.
So wait. Let me just make sure I'm on track here. So number 3, we want to make sure we eat breakfast, or is it shutting stuff down?
Well, so we have a cafe in our building.
Lucky him. How many of you have a cafe?
And they have a really nice, healthy, it's avocado toast.
Okay.
Right? But so basically this is what I have.
It's nothing heavy.
It's not heavy. There's greens, so there's like spring greens on there.
Okay.
There's, I get a couple of poached eggs. I have it on a jalapeno cheddar biscuit, so there's avocado there. So
it's making me hungry.
Nice healthy fats, and then I also have some smoked salmon with that too.
And that's your breakfast?
That's my breakfast.
Every morning?
Yeah.
Every morning. So every morning, number 3, make sure that you have
I have to have a nice healthy breakfast. Get some greens in you. Get some greens in you.
Okay, some greens. In the morning, right? He's saying in the morning. He's not saying in the day, later in the day. He's saying in the morning, have a nice healthy breakfast. Yeah. Right? It's important.
And you know what? It could just be a shake, right? Yeah. So some people, they put like kale and all this stuff into a shake and they drink it and then bam, that's fine. You just need to have, this is how I do it, right?
Okay. So I know, at least for myself, I juice in the morning. So I juice a lot of my fruits and vegetables. Would that still be sufficient as far as juicing? Okay, perfect. All right, Mike. So we need to know, what's number 4?
Number 4. So let's talk about the Pomodoro method.
Okay.
I know we talked about that in the other segment, but let's kind of get into it here a little bit more. You got to look it up. Pomodoro method. It's literally 25 minutes. 25 minutes Pomodoro method. So if you're looking at a task and it's going to take you, let's say it's going to take you an hour. So that's 2 Pomodoros. Right? Pomodoros are normally 25 minutes each. So for 25 minutes, you're not looking at your phone, you're not looking at Facebook, you're not talking to Martha or Betty, you're not...
For 25 minutes.
For 25 minutes, you are 200% focused on that thing.
So number 4, you would say Pomodoro method, right?
Yeah.
No distractions.
0.
Staying focused.
And so some people can only do that for 25 minutes. So do it for 25 minutes. Me, 50 minutes to an hour is perfect for me.
No distractions.
No distractions.
Do you cut your phone off or do you silence your phone? So when you apply this, my question really is, how do you manage, right? Because I know a lot of us, right, it's hard to cut off that phone, right? Especially for me. I don't know who's going to call. I don't know what deal is on the other end, right? So I'm always excited to pick up my phone.
Well, so let me, this is the advanced tactic side of this conversation. So we are implementing, we use AnswerForce.
Okay.
So we have a bunch of our...
AnswerForce.
We have a bunch of toll-free numbers. So if you call any one of our 9 or 12 businesses, whatever, it's a toll-free number. There is a human that's going to answer the phone, and that is through a company called AnswerForce. Hey, thank you for calling blah, blah, blah. So what we're doing is we are also using AnswerForce for our personal phone numbers. And for a couple of us, like the CEO, probably me, we are going to also have those be, if we don't answer, an assistant is going to answer and take a message.
Okay.
So I don't have to answer the phone if I don't want to. My assistant will answer, tell me what needs to happen, and I'll get an email.
How do you handle the inside distractions? Because as I sit here and I really think about it, right? 25 minutes, you say for you is 50 minutes. You're in the flow. You're focused on your task.
Yeah.
How do you handle, and I know you said you implemented that it's in your policy of being mindful, but how do you handle being in the co-working space? How do you handle other people right around you making noises, kicking, hey, can you check this out? How do you handle that? Because I mean, I'm taking it for most people, right? Whether it's a tap at the door, knock at the door, you're still going to say, you know, who is it, come in, whatever it may be, right? How do you handle, how do you manage, like how do you block that? Because I mean, you said it's critical that it takes 20 minutes to get back in the flow of things when you're distracted. So how do you handle that part of it? I mean, because this is because I think that's big. I mean, because there's all type of distractions that's around everybody in this world. I mean, at this point, I think we're probably at our all-time high of distractions, right?
Yeah. So we're at the all-time high of non-productivity.
Yes.
So the biggest here's the thing, right? The biggest, as a business owner, you know that the highest number thing, that your biggest bottom line thing is staff.
Yes.
Well, your staff is like 33% to 45% of their time is wasted. They're not productive.
They're not productive. They're not.
If you want to seriously break it down, they're not productive.
They're not productive. So keeping them productive, right? Keeping them on task. I mean, so we'll use me for instance, right? So here it is. I'm managing 3 companies, right? Well, 3 of the same company.
Yeah,
right?
3 locations.
3 locations. Mind you, should it be tasks that's already set up to delegate, right? To where is it micromanaging, or is it just delegating to keep them productive throughout the whole day, to be at 100% max out?
So I actually have a little bit of insight into this, right? So my son is 21.
Okay.
And
picks up to Brandon. Hey, Brandon.
So he started working. He took the semester off of college, and I'm like, well, we have a deli. You just go work over there. But for a new person who like never worked in food before, he's like, I need these systems.
Okay.
So I think if you're working with younger, like millennial or whatever this Generation Z or whatever it's called is, I think doing these tasks, like these are the things that need to be done, and they can just check them off.
Okay, that works.
You know, I think checklists are good.
So checklist. Number 5. What do we have for number 5?
So you were also talking about focusing and how do I get rid of the distractions. You know what? There's like I sit behind a computer all day. I literally look down and I don't look at what's going on around me. Okay. Like literally when I'm focusing, I have YouTube Premium, so I pay to have no ads.
So sometimes it's better to pay for certain things that will pop up, because mind you, YouTube Premium, whether it's Pandora if you listen to music, right?
Well, so even if it's Pandora, right? So you're listening to Pandora, you're in the zone, you're listening to music. I listen to music that doesn't really have words.
Okay.
It's like, techno, electronic.
I like lo-fi music.
Yeah, so it's there. So number 1, it's loud enough so I don't hear other people. Like if somebody yells my name, I'll hear it. I mean, my headphones don't go in my ears, right? This is what I listen to. It connects to my computer. This is what I use to listen. So I can still hear people. If someone yells my name, like if they need to get a hold of me, I'm like not unapproachable. But
right.
But if someone is like, hey, what do you think about this? I'm busy.
Staying focused is the key. We're diving deep. We're giving you some tips that you can start implementing today in your life.
Yeah.
Today, productivity is key. How can you max out your productivity?
So now let's talk about some tools, right?
Tools!
So tools, if you use Chrome browser to check out Facebook, so if you're a social media manager like I am, and you need to be on Facebook, but you know what happens? You're on Facebook and it's like, oh, let me look at this cat video.
Right.
And then you watch the cat video and it's like, oh, wow, this ship is going to hit this dock. I got to watch that too. And then it's like, oh my gosh, this guy is riding his bike down the side of this mountain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, then you go down this rabbit hole and before you know it, it's like
there.
the next
You
hour.
spent an hour, 30 minutes, hour, whatever it is. That happens all the time.
So I use a Chrome extension called Kill Newsfeed.
Kill newsfeed.
Kill Newsfeed.
So it doesn't bring any newsfeed to you?
You do not see a timeline at all.
Really?
So what it does is now Facebook becomes a CRM.
Break down CRM.
It becomes a CRM, so it's a customer relations thing.
See? You see that? See, that's
So if somebody leaves a comment on one of the pages or sends a message to one of the pages, I see that. I don't see cat videos.
Nice.
So when I respond to somebody, it's like, yes, come on in, or yes, give us your email so we can send you this thing, or do this. I don't fall down this rabbit hole of watching rabbits eat carrots.
So here we are. For everybody that's watching right now, we're breaking down a lot of things so you can be productive, right? Here it is. We're gonna say he's the marketing guru, right? This is his field, right? So we know a lot of us, we get caught up, we get a lot of distractions, right? We're telling you, in order to be productive, man, you have to focus. You have to focus. That was number 5 on focusing, right? How can we build ourselves up to where we're executing our days and being productive in our field? So we're diving deep right now. We're diving deep on executing our days.
I guess we're going on number 6.
We're going on number 6, so here we are. Number 6. Mike, what do you have for us for number 6?
This one's fire.
It is fire.
We mentioned this before in the other version of this, but I have Alexa set up to remind me every hour what time it is. Because I'm in the zone, I'm listening to this thing, I may not start exactly on the hour, but I know what time it is without having to stop. Even though I have a watch on my arm.
Right.
I have the time in my computer corner.
So you're utilizing...
I'm not paying attention to any of that stuff. I'm like focused on what the hell I'm doing.
So do you use Alexa as your accountability partner? As your
Absolutely.
reminder? So here we are. So number 6, make sure you can have someone hold you accountable, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's using technology, whether it's
Maybe it's an assistant.
Maybe it's an assistant, right? But having an accountability partner to make sure that you're staying on task and you're knocking out the things that you need to do, your top priority, right? Eliminating all distractions, staying focused.
So if I have a meeting, right? So let's say I have a meeting. I had a meeting today at 1 o'clock. So it was a meeting with 2 other coworkers plus somebody. Those 2 other coworkers went downstairs to meet the guy. They went down there like 15, 20 minutes before. And I keep working. Because I only have to walk down the stairs to the meeting.
Right.
Right? So at 12:57,
you shut it down.
I am done and I walk down the stairs.
Nice. You maxing out that time.
Like I don't, I figured the guy that we're meeting, I figured that he'd be there a little bit early, right? So I'll go down there a little bit early too, like 2 minutes early, because you want to know what, those 20 minutes, like if you're working in a 6-hour day, how much of that 6-hour day is 20 minutes? Like, that's a lot of time.
That's a lot of time,
and I don't have that time to waste. That's why I can't be distracted, because I don't have that 20 minutes.
Solid.
So one of the things that I do with Alexa is if I have meetings, I'll tell Alexa to remind me of the meeting like 10 minutes before, then 5 minutes before. It all depends on where it is. If it's in the same building,
Okay.
then I tell it like, Alexa, remind me at 12:57 to go downstairs to the meeting.
Okay.
So at 12:57, boom. I'm reminding you, you've got a meeting. I'm like, all right, bam, I'm done.
So here it is. This is someone that's maxing out the technology that's available to him right now, right? So everybody may not have Alexa. I mean, at this point, I mean, whatever reason you may not think Alexa, the government's listening, whatever it may be, right? But here is someone that's maxing out the technology, right? He has an accountability partner. He's using the tools, the resources that's around him, so that way it can benefit. If you can implement this, start implementing this today. Start doing these things today. See if your life can transform. See if your productivity level exceeds and go above and beyond what it was last week. I heard something earlier today, not to cut you off.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm 31 years old, by Ed Milet, right? And he was breaking down, he was saying, he was using an analogy of an old man was telling Ed Milet, right, about his son. He said, hey man, your son will only be 7 once, right?
Yeah.
He'll only be 8 once. And Ed Milet said, hey, he didn't try to come in an assaulting way. He said, well, what happened to you? If you realize this about a child, right? Mm-hmm. And this child will only be 7 years old for 1 year, right? And he'll never experience being 7 years old again,
yeah,
right? So what happens to most of us? So I'm 31 years old, and it touched me today. Listen to this podcast by him. He basically said, hey, you only have 1 year to be whatever age you are, right? And every year, right, so I'll be 32 soon, right? So that means me being 31 is in the past. 32 should be better, right? I should grow, right? I should not still be doing the same things that I was doing when I was 31,
yeah,
right? Because every year I'm a different age. I should be growing, right? That's what it's all about, growth. So here it is. We're bringing you all tools. We're bringing you information to better your life. That's what we're here for, right? Mike has, sleep cycle, that right there touched me, right? That was number one.
You will see a huge difference.
Huge difference.
Because what you're gonna find out from that is you're gonna find out like I need another 30 minutes so I can have that full cycle.
Yeah. See, and that's solid. Learning something about yourself, right? How do your body function, right? Because mind you, we talked about coffee and things of that nature. Here it is. We're trying to build ourselves up so that way we can be the best us right now. That's what life is all about. It's really not about business. It's not about job. It's about really being the best that we can possibly be.
The best you.
The best you.
Yeah.
So here we are, Poptastic Nation. We're coming here, we having these open discussions. We're coming, we're giving you tips, we're giving you tools that you can start implementing in your lives this very day, this very second. You can take a stand, you can really have that life that you desire. You can see dramatic transformation only if you apply it. If you sit back and just watch us and say, oh yeah, that's pretty cool, that's a nice podcast. But I challenge you, might challenge you, right, to start implementing some of these things in your lives, right? And so that way you can start putting in the comments below to say, you know what, hey, I'm committed. I'm going to try this out for 7 days. I'm going to try this out for 2 weeks. I'm going to try it for a month. I told Mike earlier today, hey, you know what, Mike, I'm doing this fast. I'm cutting out fast food. I'm cutting out red meat. I'm cutting out sweets, right? So for 2 weeks, I'm cutting that out, right? And then as I started to think, I said, well, naturally, I know myself. I said, well, man, I know that ultimately I'm on a healthier path. Why should after the 2 weeks I go back to doing everything before?
Yeah.
Now, naturally, that's me being strong-minded and saying, you know what, if I'm going to do this, I might as well continue to implement this in my life completely. Yep. Because, mind you, as my body began to fight off, everybody, if you ever try to detox or if you ever try to fast, everybody knows that your body started acting a little funny, right?
Yeah.
Like, hey, the sugar's like, hey, where's the sugar?
Yeah, sugar detox.
I need some sugar, man. Hey, man, what's wrong with you? But if I sit here and strip myself of all of the bad things, right? Why go back to it after I already detoxed? Why? So I started thinking to myself, man, if I'm gonna implement this, man, maybe Chris, maybe you just cut back. Maybe you don't go back and just start indulging in it just because, hey, it's 2 weeks over. So I asked myself this question, hey, I'm about to be 32 years old. I want that new me to have some new rules. I want to start implementing some new things for me being 32. I want me being 32 to be totally different than me being 31. I know some of the things that I've done while I was 31, right? But I want to see growth. So it's like, hey, I want to, mind you, getting healthy, getting up earlier, starting a sleep cycle. I want to start implementing these things at 32. And when 33 come, right, I want to continue to build from off of 32. Yeah. So here we are. We're giving you these tools. We're sharing. We're creating these podcasts just for you, right? We're creating it. We're a team here, right? We're a community here. We want everybody to succeed. We want everybody to be successful. We want everybody to be poptastic, right? We want everybody to be positive, optimistic, and productive, right? I tell the students all the time, honestly, as I continue to say that, I can sit back and reflect and say, that has been the key to my success, right? Being positive, being optimistic, being productive. Honestly, if you really break that down, if you can take those 3 right there, right, and start applying it, I guarantee you'll see results. You'll see major results, right? Major results.
You want to know productivity step number 7?
Let's hear it.
The first thing that you do.
Number 7 here, folks. Number 7.
So after I check all my emails and all the social, make sure that there's no fires.
Okay.
Right? I had something to eat. I'm like ready to get into the zone, the flow, whatever. Now it's time to eat that frog.
Ooh, eat the frog. Now I know what eat the frog means.
Yeah.
Right? I know.
It's a book.
It is a book, but wait. I know what it means. And I bet you're sitting right there at the screen. What the hell did Mike just say? Eat that frog? What the fuck? How did they go from here to there to eating a frog? Mike, let's break it down.
All right.
I'm gonna let you break it down. I'm rolling up my sleeves here. Eat that frog. Eat the frog. You heard him correctly.
That's right.
He said eat the frog. Tell the world how to eat the frog, Mike.
So, you're sitting down and you know kind of everything you need to do in that day, right?
Yep.
So what is the biggest, ugliest thing that you need to do that day? The thing that's going to take the most time, the thing that you don't really want to do.
Yes.
Do that first.
Do that first. Did you hear it? That is called eating the frog. During a thing that you're dreading to do the hardest thing first. That's eating the frog. That's eating the frog, right? How many of you sit back and put off the thing that counts the most? How many of you say, oh, I'll get to it later, but that's the most important thing that you do? If you can do that first, do you understand how your day can just be transformed?
What it does is it sets up your day to be better because now you're looking forward to the next thing, or it's easier to do the next thing.
It's easier to do. If you did the hardest thing, the toughest thing that you do not want to do, and you knock that out first,
yep,
the rest of your day is a piece of cake.
It is.
Because you knocked out
so what happens is you get that thing done, you're almost done, I did it. Now you get dopamine. Now you're like, man, this is awesome. Now I'm going to do the next thing. And then, now you get more dopamine, right? So now you don't really need, you don't need that coffee, right? Now I'm not saying I don't drink coffee.
I don't drink coffee. He drinks coffee. I don't drink coffee.
Like when I'm sitting down and I'm like, all right, I'm going in for an hour. I'm not coming out. I'm going in for an hour. I need to focus on this thing.
Nice.
Drink some coffee, or instead of, because coffee raises your acidic level, so sometimes I'll do something that kind of keeps me more alkaline, whatever. Just talking about the pH balance in your body. But but whatever I do, sometimes I get like some sort of caffeine, and all right, I'm doing it, jumping in, bam, eat that frog, get done.
Eat that frog. So here it is. We just broke down what eat that frog means, right? I mean, we're giving you some solid tips, right? Now, me and Mike, we know each other. We talk, right? So here it is. We're right here. We're creating this podcast. You can see us. You can hear us, right? Subscribe to us. We're giving you tips. We're telling you right now, eat the frog. If you haven't heard of the book, check out the book. And basically what we're doing is summarizing this book. Knock out the most important task that you need to do for that day. The hardest task, right?
Yeah.
The thing that you really don't want to do, that you're kind of putting off, that you know that's the most important thing on your to-do list.
Maybe it's cold calling, maybe it's emails, whatever.
Knock it out, because once you do that, right, the rest of your day will free up. You'll feel 110% better about yourself. You'll be able to go out there and execute because you know you did the most important thing. I do that to this day. When I have orders that I need to complete, when I complete those orders and I'm sitting back thinking like, wow, I just knocked out the order already, right? I just had an order come in today and I knocked it out right away and I was like, hey, I'm on my way with it. They're like, really, already? Now in my mind, I'm like, yeah. But that was the most important thing, because what I think of is today's Friday, how can I make my Saturday that much more easier, right?
Yeah.
If I would have waited until tomorrow or the next day or until the deadline, right? Now here it is, I'm rushing, I'm underneath pressure, right?
Yeah.
And now I'm having anxiety. How am I going to do this? I need to do this. You know, my kids need me here, my wife need me there, I need to do this, I need to go there.
And then now your productivity goes...
Yep, I start to panic, right? Mind you, it's everybody. But mind you, I've learned to knock out the most important tasks, right? Don't put off what you can do today until tomorrow. That's a solid quote. Don't put off what you can do today, right now, until tomorrow. Just go ahead and knock it out. Get it out the way, so that way you don't have to worry about it. You will feel like $1,000,000 once you get to that level. So eat that frog. Whatever is the most important task that you have to do, we're teaching you, we're telling you, we're giving you these informations, we're giving you these tips. We want to help build you up. That's the purpose of this podcast right now. We're telling you to eat that frog. Whatever it is that you know that you're supposed to be doing, go ahead and knock it out. Stop procrastinating. So many people out here procrastinate. Mind you, my grandmother used to tell me all the time, and I'm guilty of it, right? But I fixed it, right? I fixed it. She said, Chris, why do you procrastinate? Now, mind you, I can kind of justify it. The things that she thought that was important really wasn't important, right?
Yeah.
So she would say, Chris, you always procrastinate. You procrastinate. I'm like, I'm not procrastinating. That's just not the top priority for me right now.
Yeah.
But I started realizing, okay, well, Chris, she feels that you're procrastinating, right? Sometimes you have to really reflect, look at yourself in the mirror, and sit back and say, am I really procrastinating, right? Am I? You know, could I have done that, right, earlier or sooner, right? And mind you, I was guilty. It was like, okay, I guess some of these situations I could have knocked out sooner, at an earlier time. So here it is, we're telling you to eat that frog. Whatever it is in your life that you feel, mind you, and this is every task when you go to work, every task, right?
But when you're gonna eat that frog, use the Pomodoro method and like focus on it
for 25 minutes.
For 25 minutes.
25 minutes.
And then if you still, it's only 25 minutes.
25 minutes.
Less than a half an hour.
Or hard.
25 minutes. Get up, take a break. All right? All right. In the next 25 minutes, I'll get that thing done.
This is solid. I'll give you this about my week this week. I love being at my office. I love making calls. I love making connections with people. I love setting up meetings because I feel like the more people that I'm in front of, the more people I meet, the bigger my chances, the greater are my chances of being successful and taking my business to a higher level. So we'll just say this week, I've been at schools this week. I've been running between my locations. So naturally, I'm doing that. And lately, I've been saying, like, man, I kind of feel like I'm an Uber driver. I'm always in the car. I'm always on the road.
Yeah.
But the other day, I was in my office for 1 hour. As I sat in my office, I made these calls, right? I made connections with 3 new companies to set up some meetings. When I was done and I walked out my office, I felt like $1,000,000. I felt like I conquered and it was like, wow, like I felt great. Now, mind you, at that point, that's what I was longing to do.
Yeah.
I want to meet as many people as possible, but I felt like $1,000,000 doing that. I felt good. I felt rejuvenated, right?
That's
it was
good.
like, yes, I got things lined up for my following week. Man, I got meetings lined up. I felt amazing, right? And what I learned was, hey, when you put yourself in that place and you're able to knock out some of the things that you love to do and you kind of see those results, because it doesn't take much, right? It doesn't take much.
Right.
But as long as you're being productive. So in my eyes, it was like, man, I'm productive. Right? Now, mind you, although I was still productive doing everything else, right? But I kind of had this quote in my mind to where, look, man, I'm doing everything else, but this is what I really, really, really want to do. And when I dedicated that time to do that and I executed it,
Yep.
I felt good, right? Now, mind you, that was only one day out this week that I was able to have that solid hour of doing that. Now, mind you, I probably, if I had more time, right?
Yeah.
I could have probably accomplished more, but I felt great just knowing that, hey, man, I had that time. I had that hour window, and I knocked it out, and I feel great, right? Today's Friday. Of course, I can't call anybody tomorrow. Maybe I could, but
You never know.
Knowing me, I probably will, to be honest, because I'm always just trying to, hey, man, there's no day.
You know what I'm doing tomorrow?
Working.
I'm getting up. I'm going to the gym. Going home. Getting ready. Going to work.
So check this out. We're here, right? Solid, right? I was at the school. I was telling the kids, and I sit back. I've been working 26 days straight. No days off. 26 days straight. No days off. Now, the other day I was at 21. But I'm at 26 days straight. No days off.
Yeah.
Do you hear that? I'll repeat it again. I went to a high school, and I was talking to the kids, and I was at 21 days, and I was like, hey, man, I worked 21 days straight. Like, that's being an entrepreneur. I wanted that bad, 21 days straight, that I'm so committed, I'm so dedicated to the goals that I'm trying to accomplish. I know, right?
Yeah.
That these are some of the things that I need to do. This is some of the sacrifices that I need to make, right?
Yeah.
But mind you, and I told the kids, what's crazy and ironic is I'm doing something that I'm passionate about, and it does not feel like work.
Yeah.
Right? So me working 21 days and now I'm at 26 days straight, right? 26 days straight. Now tomorrow will be 27 days straight. Although tomorrow's Saturday, I feel like $1,000,000 right now sitting here knowing, right, that I ate the frog already. Mm-hmm. So when I come tomorrow, although I'll still be working, I know that I knocked out the most important task on my list, right?
Yep.
Now, mind you, I know some people, and a lot of people, there's always a lot of people in your ear, dream killers. I'll tell you about that. We'll have a segment on that. A lot of people say, man, you need to take a break. You're going to burn yourself out. But how am I going to burn myself out at something that I love doing?
Yeah.
I don't think...
I mean, being at a high productive level, like, yeah, I mean, you do need to take breaks. So, for example, like, let's break it down today. What happened to me today? I use Sleep Cycle. My Sleep Cycle alarm went off sometime between 4:50 and 5:30, sometime around there, and I didn't hear it. For almost 2 hours.
For almost 2 hours.
I was in a deep sleep, and you can like I actually
tracked it.
Like,
wow.
I was in a deep sleep. I'm assuming the alarm was going off. I don't know, but so one of the things that happens is when you're in a deep sleep is your body naturally paralyzes your arms and stuff like that from moving.
Yeah.
So it can just focus on like doing what it needs to do, right? So it can start rejuvenating you. And I was in this super deep, from like 4, maybe 4:30. I hit this deep sleep, and that deep sleep went until like 7:30.
Wow.
And then that's when I heard the alarm, and I woke up, and I'm like, oh man, I didn't go to the gym today.
How did you feel?
I was bummed out.
Bummed out.
But you know what? I actually had a meeting, actually with my gym coach this afternoon, which was that meeting I was talking about. And I'm like, all right, dude, what did we work out? And he told me what the exercise was. So it was actually a lighter exercise, but you know, I missed it. So I normally don't go on Saturdays.
Okay.
But I'm going tomorrow.
Now I like that, right? Now he just said something.
I gotta go tomorrow.
You just spoke values, right? So he had a deep sleep.
But my body was like,
you need rest.
you need the rest. So I actually slept for 9 hours, over 9 hours.
So check this out. He normally doesn't go to the gym on Saturday, right?
Right.
You missed today, which is Friday. But yet and still, you're about to get up tomorrow and make up for today.
Yeah.
That's solid. That's being committed and that's being devoted, right? A lot of people will beat themselves up and then kind of get in a rut. But what's cool is, although tomorrow's Saturday you don't go, you're making up for it.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to do certain things to make up. So if you do have to take a day off, whatever it may be, right? Make up for it. Put in that work, right? Don't cheat yourself at the end of the day, because ultimately Mike is only cheating himself.
Right? I mean, when it comes down to it, I've done 10, let's say 9 to 10 days of work this week.
Yeah.
Right? So sleeping in a little bit.
It's okay, because I mean,
because my body was like, obviously.
Maybe we should say pop out, right? I've been saying max out, pop out. Pop out, right? Pop it, right? Because you've been...
I'm not going to...
Pop lock, pop lock.
I'm not going to do it.
Right, but just think about it. You've been positive, optimistic, and productive.
Yeah.
And you've been doing it on a higher level that is popping out, right?
Yeah.
To where ultimately it's working, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's working to where when you really sit back and say, man, my body does need rest. I mean, you've been, man, productivity on a higher level, right?
I have to. Man, you know, in one of our episodes, I think it was our first episode, or second or third, whatever, I talked about a 60-year goal.
60-year goal.
You know, and I'm like, and, you know, I watch, so one of the things with YouTube Premium is I can listen to YouTube videos with my phone off. Like, I don't have to watch it. My phone could be closed and the screen could be off, and I could still be listening, right?
Yeah.
So I kind of subscribe to all of these people that way. And so what happens is I listen to all this stuff, and this one guy was saying, like, oh, I've got this 10-year goal. And someone's like, well, why can't you do that in 6 months?
10-year goal in 6 months.
Yeah.
See, that's maxing out your time. That's I love it.
Like, your 5-year goal, why can't you do it by the end of the year?
I can. My rule of thumb is my 2018, I think about 2018. I know we're in 2019. But my biggest thing for 2018 was no excuses. Like, 2018 was a year of no excuses. If I had to sit back and think now, my 2019 would probably be acceleration.
Yeah.
Acceleration. Right? Don't lose that momentum.
You know, so just like tonight, we brought over a whole bunch of more podcasting equipment, microphones, and that sort of thing. We're going to actually change up the set again.
Yep.
Due to some feedback from you guys. Again, thank you for all the feedback and everything.
Thank you.
It really helps out. We want to definitely be better, and always striving to be better, always striving to learn
Always.
something. So if you have any productivity tips or anything, please let us know. But we were talking about the printer that we have. So we have a number. We have 9 main businesses, and one of those businesses has 3 brands underneath it. So it's basically 12 businesses, and we have a little tiny print house in the office, because even though we have like a commercial partnership with a print house local, it's about 20 minutes, half hour away. That's 40 minutes to an hour out of my time if I have to go drive over there to pick it up.
Yep.
Right? So while sometimes it's great to have a break, I could be doing something else during that time. I could be on the phone, whatever. But so we do a lot of stuff from our printer.
That's solid, man. There's something about you said with time. I mean, you all can't see it, but I have I wear a necklace. And my pendant on the necklace is a charm. And it has old Elgin watch parts from it. So in this charm, it's all old, like the gears and stuff like that, right? And that's something that I always touch bases and talk about time, right? When you think about life, right, you can never get the time back. That, like, honestly,
Absolutely.
I know we talk about money and we talk about different things. We talk about productivity. And even when you think about productivity, and really right now, it just kind of hit me, talking about productivity, it broke it down for me. It was, man, productivity is really making the best use of your time, right? Because you can't get that time back, right? How do you value your time, right? I tell Mike, I said I spend a lot of time on the road, right? I'm on the road, I'm driving, you know. But that's time, The time that's being spent on the road for the commute, right? Now, mind you, me being me, I'm still being productive without that time, whether I'm listening to audibles or podcasts, right? I'm taking that
always
same time,
learning,
and I'm always learning. But time is the most valuable thing, as we share with you all, right? As far as being productivity. I mean, when we say being positive is a state of mind, right?
Yeah.
Optimistic is a state of mind. But productivity goes into what are you doing within that time frame?
Yeah.
What are you doing, right? In order to get those results, you have to do something. How are you managing that time? So here it is. We're here with this time, right? And I'm kind of diving into this
well,
time.
I've got something to say about time.
Ooh, let's do it. Let's hear it.
So I'm sitting here. I'm working. The music's done. I'm done with my hour-long Pomodoro, right? And an alert comes up saying Gary Vaynerchuk is doing a Facebook Live. So I'm like, I'll watch this for a couple of minutes. And so it was a Facebook Live, and he's talking about he has a company called Empathy Wines, and this one guy was like, Gary, how much wine do I have to buy to get 30 minutes of your time? And Gary's like, man, it would have to be a lot. It would have to be a lot. Maybe like 10,000 bottles of wine.
Wow.
Like, he straight up, no joke, you need to go over here and barter and give me your offer.
So he wanted 30 minutes of Gary Vaynerchuk time, and he said 10,000 bottles.
Yeah.
You know what? That's something that with a lot of books that I read, wealthy people that I've encountered, right? Mind you, they may not be celebrity status on social media or in that highlight, but I mean, there's a lot of wealthy people around us.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing, is the time.
Absolutely.
Right? wealthy people look at time totally different. It's like when you think about people that buy jets, right?
Mm-hmm.
Buy certain things. They're trying to get to that place faster so they can have more time to themselves, right? Whether it's waiting in line, waiting in traffic, whatever it may be, they value their time so much to where if they say, hey, I'll give you 1 minute, they literally mean 1 minute. Hey, if you have whatever it takes, whatever you want to say, you better get it out within that 1 minute of time. So, and if they like you, they may be like, okay, you know what, I'll give you a little bit more of my time. And a lot of people kind of take offense. This is something that I've learned, right, with wealthy people that I do know, right? And I truly thank God that I kind of won them over with my favor, right?
Yeah.
To where they've been able to spare time, you know. But for the most part, they give you a set amount of time, and you may think that they're snotty, right? Because they don't want to listen, maybe because they heard it so many times, right, from so many different people.
Yeah.
And they say, hey, not because you're short, but you know, I gotta go, right? And they're stuck to it, like, hey, time's up.
So I gotta tell you something. I don't know if I told you this before, but I gotta change the battery. That's the battery right there.
No, we good.